twice as long and stay together half as much. Get married too damn young, and when we do, it ain't just once. The newsman says the world's a mess. If you want proof, the ice is melting, bees are leaving, population's through the roof. There's a million reasons we're better off alone, but when it's all said and done, we buy gold, carve our names into the band, say a vow, say a prayer, slip it on each other's hand, tie some tin cans to the car. Do you fall asleep with the TV on? What day of the week do you call your mom? Don't leave out any information. I'm just saying, I wanna know you like my drive home, know you like sweet Caroline. Bye, 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 I wanna memorize the look in your eyes you get when you're looking into mine. Know you like my favorite movie. Don't know what you're doing to me, but I don't wanna leave any question marks. I wanna know you, baby. I wanna know you by heart.
Stephanie Rochelle Quayle, look at you.
If you only just saw what I was just doing.
So much glamour, so much color. Like, it's great to have you on the show, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is awesome. Where are you
Absolutely.
right now?
In Nashville. Music. Are
Oh,
you,
perfect.
are you in Nashville right now or in the farm?
No, I drove to the farm last night, so I'm here on the farm. So
Wonderful. How many hours is it?
it's like 7 hours. Last night took me a little longer because I was
Okay.
tired.
Okay, sure. You must have it so down that route. You must know where to stop, where to eat, where to get coffee, the whole 9 yards.
You would think so. You would think so. I don't. I don't. Look at, I'm on your wall.
Oh, and the marquee, of course, absolutely. I mean, so accomplished. We're so honored to have you, Stephanie. Yeah.
You're so sweet to say that. Sweet to
No, of course. And to give my audience like a little bit of bullets on your career, I mean, just a quick primer: over 100 million radio impressions, top 10 in country female airplay in the last few years, CMT Next Women of Country inductee, multiple appearances at the Grand Ole Opry. You've played the Circle a bunch of times, a bunch of stuff. Lone Ranger just released a fantastic song. Look, we could spend the whole interview just going through your accolades. So let's just stop there.
Well,
But just to say that we're honored to have you.
Well, you're very sweet to say that. It's
Absolutely.
awesome. I love getting to do what I get to do.
Love it, Stephanie. So, but yes, so for my audience that may not know, we're talking about the farm. You have a farm in North Carolina. How is the farm doing? How are the animals? How is everything going on?
It's great. So our farm is Summerfield Farms, which is just north of Greensboro.
Mhm.
And back before COVID, we have cattle. So we have quite a few cows on the farm, and little kids would always come to the farm wanting to see the animals. So I got some miniatures so that kids could interact with little animals and not be intimidated. Well, then COVID hit. So we had to take animals virtual, right? And like we're doing right now to introduce them. And so they are now getting to be around lots of kids, which is awesome. And then our big herd, our regular herd, we just started having some calves. So we had another calf this morning at like 2 a.m.
I love that. I love that. Never a dull moment in your life. That's for sure.
There's nothing dull.
Amazing,
For
amazing.
sure.
Amazing, Stephanie. And you know what I was thinking, research last week and that whole thing, you grew up in Montana.
Yeah.
And Montana, I don't know if you know this, it's since the pandemic started, it's one of the top 5 hottest real estate markets in the country of people moving there.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, man, I wonder if Stephanie knows like that, you were like, your whole life, you were always saying, hey, Montana is like so beautiful. You guys don't know. And now everybody caught on and you're like, guys, I've been telling you like my entire career.
My entire life. Yeah, no, it's such a beautiful place. If you haven't gone, it's what I say to people is if you can't catch your breath in Montana, you can't find peace anywhere. Like it's the biggest sky in the world. It's beautiful. I love it. But it's a lot of fun to see people come and experience it. My main suggestion to those that come is, respect it. Just take good care of it so we always have it.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. I love that. Cool. Cool, Stephanie. So let's talk about Lone Ranger just for a second. Your new song, you released it in August. I mean, it's love the song. It just, hits the veins with emotion. It's wonderful. But, I was thinking, Stephanie, when you finally find such a beautiful relationship, marriage of growth, where you have a partner, where you support each other's goals, you enhance each other's life, you're
Yeah.
giving, not taking, that whole thing. How hard is it to like basically go into that dark space of love, of emotion that so much country is about when you're like in such a happy place? Is that hard for you?
Yeah. That's a really interesting question, actually, because, it is, we all have these chapters of our lives, right? I have fortunately done a lot of work on myself to where I can tap into the heartbreak. I can tap into it, into those moments before David, because, I was a bad picker. I picked all, I was like, maybe it's me, with relationships, and learned so much through those. I think that the beauty is that, like all of us, we experience so many things in one day. You can have the highest of high moment and then something just be a gut punch, and that's the beauty of living and experiencing life. So I think for me, I've absolutely leaned more into the love of, because I'm getting to experience that and write about it from such an authentic place. I think that it's also opened up the ability and the possibilities to share some of those. So in those prequels, we will call them those
The
places.
prequels.
But yeah, I can tap into it without it debilitating, right? So I think that a lot of times as artists, we are writing about our lives. And so to be able to share that slice of life, but it not be something that then takes you back, right?
Yeah.
So a song that maybe was sad or is sad then becomes empowering. And that's really exciting, because music is the ultimate language. It's the place where you can truly heal. And I think both as the writer, musician, artist, and as the listener, I think that's what's got me. I can't kick it, right? Like I could never leave music, because music is just too much a part of my like my essence.
Your
So it's,
purpose. Yeah.
yeah, my purpose. And I've watched it help so many people, and I've watched it help me, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, man, it's too invaluable. We have to keep making music.
Does that ever get old, Stephanie? Like I know you had an event here close to our office, in the Gulch neighborhood in Nashville, and people come up to you and they say, "Man, your songs changed my life." You this does that ever lose its power?
No, no, never. And people ask me, do you get nervous? I'm like, every time I get nervous, because I want it to never be, I just always want it to be exceptional. Exceptional and perfect are very different. Perfect is a waste of energy.
Hmm.
Exceptional, extraordinary, connective, life-changing, that's the juice, right? That's the strive.
Yeah.
So I never get sick of it. To watch someone move that I've never met before, right? That maybe we don't have a relationship, to say that song moved them, or that music moved them, or that message moved them is very powerful.
Yeah, I love it, Stephanie. And you've talked before about By Heart and Wild Frontier, how you kind of like recorded them during the pandemic. So, first of all, did you learn a lot of like production technicalities like that you maybe didn't know before, just by being at home and kind of like Dropbox, Pro Tools and this stuff? Like, did you enhance it in any way?
Yes, that's a great question. I learned how to do lots of things, and I also learned what I just do not know how to do. I mean, you gotta know what you're good
Interesting.
at, and then find the help, right? So on the farm, I was able to, trial and error a lot of things, from, filming different things to recording different things. We were really fortunate with recording the music, because I was able to do a lot of scratch vocals, where
Yeah.
it wasn't like the vocal. Now, if it worked out that way, it was great. But for the most part, we were able to record all the musicians from all their different places in the world, right?
Sure.
And I'm here in North Carolina, and I'd like be out in the field with the animals, and then I'd jump on and we'd talk music, and then I'd be back out doing something. And then I would head to Nashville and I'd do the vocals in, a real studio. I mean, not that my closet couldn't make up for it, but it's nice
Sure.
to be able to do that. So it's really incredible just to know that we can. The music is outstanding. I love what happens when you have a collective body of people, from audience or all the musicians together. So I definitely missed that.
Right.
But the music didn't suffer,
It
right?
did
So
not. It looks like you all were in the same room. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was really special to get to just find a way, and not let it stop us. I think that, the pandemic, you had two types, right? You had people that just said, I'm out. I'm
Yes.
like not going to try this adventure. And then there was the other group that was like, okay, I'm going to try everything. And so it was a lot of trying of everything and seeing different things that I love to do, what I definitely am not good at doing, and just really getting to live it, to write it.
That's wonderful. So, basically, you did not let the pandemic define you. You defined yourself during the pandemic, and you encourage people to do the same.
Yeah, I wanted to be a voice of positivity and a voice of can do. I mean, that's, I don't know any other way. I do think there's also, you got to know when to just pause and say, okay, I don't want to burn out, because this is the long game, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint, this life. So
Yeah.
we all have enough time. I think for me, because for the first time, I wasn't in Nashville. I wasn't on the road. I was with my husband on our farm in North Carolina. So it was such a different experience
Sure.
that I had. Like, for me, doing all these different things and keeping the music and doing my little Hey Y'all show and all these virtual concerts kept my musical channel going, right? It was like,
Right.
okay, I'm doing what I know to do.
What about Stephanie? Like you know, as an individual, as a person, like let's say 2019 September. How are you different from the 2021 version? Like, what did you shed? Not musically, but like as a person. I don't know, value. Like, what do you no longer carry with you from the pandemic?
That is probably the greatest question ever asked. So no, really, truly, that's a really beautiful question. I hope that everyone watching this and listening to this will ask themselves that, because it's so important for us to shed. So important to take self-inventory, right? I think probably the biggest thing that I shed was how much time I take to make decisions, to deliberate, and really being comfortable. I remember hearing this, a maybe is a no.
Okay.
If it's a maybe for me in my mind, then there's a hesitation, and that's a no. And being able to just go, you know what, that doesn't work for me, and it's okay, right? And take a little bit of the personal side out of the business side. Music is
Mm.
such a precious thing, and being able to kind of navigate that. So I really learned to, perfect example, my dad's birthday, was in August of this year.
Hmm.
And for so many years, I missed Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays. I missed a lot of
Yeah.
family, right? And I had a big opportunity, big one, big one. I can't share what it was because it'll come back around, but it was a big one. And it was happening on the same day as my dad's birthday. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I am not going to miss out on getting that memory with my dad. And
Right.
I think that was a really big thing for me, because I think 2019, September, my songs growing up the charts, it's just like whatever it takes. And I think that there's a balance, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't get those moments with our family back. We don't get those memories with the loved ones or the making of. And I think that's something that I've really adapted into my evaluation of whether or not I'm going to do something. And does it have the long-term impact that is my legacy, right? The music and all the things and the positivity and the goodness. And then making sure it's a win-win so that no one's compromised. And if there's a way to do it better, that we're ensuring that we are doing it better.
Man, that's really, really tremendous stuff. What you're saying, and it's true. At the end, success without connection, What is it? It's the
Yeah,
ultimate failure, you know? What does
yeah,
it matter? I love
yeah.
that. I love that, Stephanie. You're being so good with your time. Thanks. But you know, and I think there's a rumor you may even play a song for us. But I have to ask you.
I like rumors.
I know, right? I also have to ask you. You know, you've always known that the secret to living is giving.
Yeah.
It's like just such a part of you. I mean, you've partnered with organizations like the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women's Movement, with St. Jude's Children's Hospital. The list goes on. Like from the beginning of your career, like it's like such a part of you. Where did that come from? Did that come from your folks in Montana? Like, where did this, such an important value, core value for you come from?
Absolutely came from my family. My grandmother was very, very just she gave to so many. Specifically, she worked with a family over in Tanzania, and we would do food drives and clothing drives and whatever it took for whomever, right? And so I learned that very closely with my grandmother, my mother, my father, my grandfather. It's just the way. There is no other way as far as I'm concerned. So I think it was learned, but also there was really no conversation about it being any other way.
Sure.
Right. So I think it's just so innate for me that I have to, now as I've grown older, it's like what you said, the receiver gives and the giver receives. It's this beautiful symbiotic relationship. But yeah, it's always been that way. I think I don't know how to turn away from someone in need. That's just not in me. And if I can help, I find a way. And if I can't help, then I find someone who can. We just
Amazing.
have to,
Amazing, Stephanie. And I think that's why you're so admired and respected in every way in Nashville and beyond. So what a great honor that it was to have you, Stephanie. So thank you for your time.
Sweet. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for asking such beautiful questions.
No, are you kidding? It's all about the guest. It's not all about us.
And
So it's your energy. We
Wow.
just flow of the guest's energy. That's what we do here. But yeah, so can you play a little song for us? Would that be?
I'd love to.
Oh my God!
I just
Awesome.
happen to have my guitar right here.
Look at that
okay.
guitar, Stephanie.
No, this is so Gibson guitars are made in my hometown of Bozeman, Montana.
Mm.
And this is, I believe, a 1978. So this is right before they moved to Montana. So before that, they were in Kalamazoo.
Beautiful. So Stephanie, could I give you any guitar? Like, can I go and buy a $40 guitar and you would make it sound good? Or does it have to be a beautiful 1970s vintage like that?
No, of course. Listen, it's not like, hopefully the player can play anything and make it sing. This is just, every time I play Gibson, it's like playing, a little piece of my history and family, and I just love the memories of that. Now, I know most of the hands that are making these guitars, so it's like it's family, right?
Lovely.
That's really cool. Well, since you had such sweet things to say about Lone Ranger, I think I should play that one. Don't you agree?
Perfect. A hit song. Love it.
You're so sweet. Ain't no telling what they'd ever do with me. You've branded my heart so good, you've owned me. Your love's like tattoo ink, it ain't coming off of me. And even your memory would get the best of me. I'd rather be a Lone Ranger, better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no moving on, rather heartbreak be my friend and love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, I'd rather be a Lone Ranger. Don't try to tell me there'd be another you. I hear what you're saying, but I ain't
it's not you. I'd rather be a lone ranger. I'd rather be a lone ranger. Better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no moving on. Rather heartbreak be my friend and love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, I'd rather be a lone ranger. I'd rather be a lone ranger. Oh, I lost you.
Sorry, I put myself in mute, but unbelievable. Can you believe that? Just goosebumps galore. What a way to start the week. Stephanie, unbelievable. Thank you so much for your time.
You're incredible, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I hope to see you in Nashville very soon.
I mean, yeah, fingers crossed. That'll be great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Good luck.
Okay.